Hello, we're back at this again. Currently, it's about 1 o'clock Eastern time, but I started this. I started this chart at like 9:30 Eastern time, and basically, what I'm going to be doing going forward is I'm going to screen record myself doing this, and then I'll just kind of talk over it later to kind of like try to document my thoughts at the time. Reason why I'm doing that is because uh, my RSI is acting up like crazy, and video editing is really aggravating it. So doing it this way, it's less clicking. It aggravates my RSI less, and I guess this way I can focus on one thing at a time. I can focus on trying to practice trading on the micro Nasdaq, and then after that, just I don't know. But that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. Anyways, yeah. So at this point, I mean, let's start this over here. At this point, what I'm looking at is I've noticed the price shot up a bunch overnight, so I guess I'm expecting it to go down, and that kind of explains what I end up doing later during the session. But the first order I put is a long order for some reason, um, just because the price went down a bunch after the last couple of minutes, and I was thinking it could go up and I could make a little off of it, but I get stopped out there. And then I put in sell orders after that. I think I put in 2 or 3 more sell orders and I'll get stopped out. Mm, yeah, this one I put in, I may get stopped out. It decides to go up for some reason. And the last couple of days, I realized that having that tight of a stop, it's really easy to get stopped out. So, and this day, it seems like I don't know, like opening at 9:30, the price action doesn't really seem to move very much today for some reason. But this order that I have open, I'm gonna leave open for a little bit, and I'm gonna get stopped out. But right now, I remember thinking it doesn't make sense why it keeps going up. So I'm expecting it to go down, and this is gonna go sideways for a bit. Then there's gonna be a candle that just shoots up, and it's gonna stop me out in like seconds. And then I do basically revenge trading after that. I open up another sell order immediately following that, and I just leave it open with no stop loss for a while. And then I put a stop loss, but I risk like 2% of my account, and I leave it open for hours. So I end up I basically ended up doing this till like noon. Oh yeah, and another thing, because of I have RSI, I'm using Talon to, I guess, interact with my computer. So basically, I'm using my voice to, I'm using my voice to try to interact with my computer. Hence, all those little uh, letters that you're seeing next to the buttons. That is a browser extension called, I think it's called Rango, Rango. And what that does is that kind of exposes, I guess, markers on the buttons and websites that then you can then use Talon to move your cursor. For example, like let's say I wanted to start create an order, I would then say like, I think that's a CM. I could then say in the Talon like move to cap made. Cap stands for C, made stands for M, and that would move the cursor to that button. So that's another reason why I'm voicing over these later, is because otherwise you're going to be listening to me talking to my computer to try to move things. And then yeah, like I am like you could see me using my mouse to move it around a bit too. But like I have a trackball, so like what I'm doing is I'm moving the mouse with my basically my arm just going over the trackball, and then like I'm using my voice to click. So like I'll use my voice to click or drag and stuff like that. So that's what's going on there. But in other words, today there's not really a whole lot to talk about because I only put in like a few orders, and then I hold the last one forever. This isn't the last order. This one's gonna get stopped out here pretty soon. And then I end up basically revenge trading and having one order open forever without a stop loss, which isn't smart. But like I don't know, like it's easy to fall into that trap because it initially seems to be profitable because you'll end up see that I get stopped out there, but like it seems like it works because like just having no stop loss and waiting until it goes your way, because that actually seems to work more than 50% of the time. The only problem is it only takes one time for your account to get liquidated. So like that obviously won't work. But right now that's the thinking that I'm stuck in. Which is kind of why reason why I want to develop my own system to do this algorithmically, because I really don't have the discipline to do this manually. Um, I guess I can continue doing this for like an hour or two a day, because why not? Practice day trading for like an hour or two a day. But like as time goes on, like the market just gets more and more efficient, and it becomes harder and harder for small traders to make money. So like that really kind of like kills my confidence in thinking something like this would work. But this would be it's still a fun project to try to get something that works algorithmically doing this. So I think that's just what I'm going to be doing. Um, but yeah, so like I guess more on that. I guess last year what I did was for a while. I guess I worked on a trend following algorithmic strategy. It's just basically, I guess in the 90s, Tom Basso. I am recording, right? I did this twice and I wasn't recording both times. I want to make sure I'm recording this time. But I guess in the 90s, Tom Basso they, developed an algorithmic trading strategy as a test. He was trying to see how important risk management was in a trading system. And basically, his test was he had like a basket a portfolio of like about 10 futures contracts, and the system randomly made orders. Whether the rule was they was always in, they always had an order open, but whether it went long or short, it was random. And but like he had like a trailing stop loss where his stop loss was put at 3 times the ATR for that asset. So an ATR is um, basically an indicator that measures the volatility of an asset at a particular time. So you take that value, you multiply that by 3, and you would use that to as an you would use that to mark where you would place your stop loss. So if you did a long order, 3 times the ATR at that time where you open the order, you would place it below that. Like you place it where like whatever 3 times the ATR, you would set your stop loss below your break even point at that point. And then it'd be a trailing stop loss. So it would follow um, as long as the price moved in your direction, the stop loss would follow it up. And if the price moved against your position, it wouldn't move. So like that's how it managed your risk. And I implemented that last year, and it seemed to work. And I spent a lot of time making sure the back tester that I do. I mean, there's software that there's back testing software that you could get. I think like that's probably better than what I came up with, but I wanted to develop my own thing because it would be more flexible, I guess. But that's what I did. And but like it seemed like it worked, and I spent a lot of time in the backtester engine stuff, making the to make sure it was accurate. But whether it is or isn't, like I think it's accurate, but I don't know. But whatever I came up with, it seemed to work. And then the next thing I did after that was I implemented like a reinforcement learning algorithm that would dynamically pick which value to use for the ATR multiple for setting the stop loss. So like like in Tom Basso's experiment, they found that 3 times the ATR, using 3 as the ATR multiple, seemed to work well in generally in most cases. But like at different times, different ATR multiples work better. Um, so the idea was have a model, train a model that can can dynamically determine which ATR multiple to use at each bar. So basically on each bar, it would decide, it would predict which ATR multiple would be best, and then it would take that multiple, multiply it by the ATR at that time, and if it was a new position, it would use that to set the stop loss. If it was an existing position, it would use that to decide whether it should move up, if it should adjust the stop loss or not. So basically, if um, if whatever it picked for the ATR multiple times the ATR, if that created a tighter stop, it would then modify the stop loss. Otherwise, it would just leave it alone. And implementing that seemed to give me superior returns versus the fixed ATR, um, versus using the fixed ATR multiple. So, I mean, that was encouraging. The next thing I did after that was I tried to find a way to intelligently pick when to place orders, and I played around with a bunch of stuff, but um, at the end, I I decided to use transformers to do that. So I would train a transformer for each asset, and to train the transformer, I would give it a list of I would train it on I would train it on correlated assets for that asset it was being trained for, including the asset itself. And then I would also feed in a bunch of other indicators. Um, and I fed it a ton of indicators. One of which was like the wavelet indicator. And like the wavelet indicator, that seems to be like a transform. So like basically like I guess like in mathematics, you can take like an image, or or for example, think of like a sine wave. You could take that and then you could transform that into using like a fast Fourier transform, or like or something else. You could convert that from something called the spatial domain into the frequency domain. And the idea was like if you look at the how the price moves of an asset, it like goes up and down, up and down, up and down in a very complicated way. The idea is maybe you can pull apart the different frequencies that make up that price movement, and then you could use that to try to predict whether it's going to go up or down. And that's, I guess that's like part of what the wavelets do. It's not exactly like the Fourier transform, but it's kind of like the Fourier transform, but it's more weighted towards the current. price or something. I don't know. But I added those indicators in, and it seemed to, and then whatever, then my transformers seemed to work really, really well. Later, I found out that there was look ahead bias in the wavelets that I was feeding to it. The wavelet indicator data that I was feeding to it had a lot of look ahead bias in it. And once I took that look ahead bias out, I it seemed like I lost the edge. So like that was discouraging. And then that got me thinking like, well, the indicators I used to train that PPO model to dynamically pick the ATR multiple, and that got me worried that that had look ahead bias in it. So I don't know, like my thinking is that maybe what I came up for that, maybe that was still correct, but I need to validate to see if that has any look ahead bias in it. And I think it will work. I think it does work. I just need to validate that it does. And I have a I have like a public repository that you can get this from. And like there's like a website I have for it, like Algo-Trading-Stack.com. But like I still need to validate if the indicators used in that have a look ahead bias in it. And like I bring that up because like I noticed one person forked my repository, and I always want to warn people like I think the indicators may have look ahead bias, so you should probably validate the indicators for yourself. But yeah, so like I guess the reason what my whole point what I'm getting at is that doing this manually, trying to day trade manually is like diminishing returns because as time goes on, the market gets more and more people do it. The algorithms get better and better at doing it algorithmically, and over time, the market is just going to become more and more efficient, which is going to make it harder to make money off of it. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's still useful to like spend like a half hour, an hour a day practicing day trading, just what for like whatever. But like the main reason for me doing that is to that would be like a source of inspiration, I guess, to like come up with like algorithmic strategies. That's my thinking. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. Probably not, but I guess it's an interesting project, and it would it would give me more understanding of machine learning algorithms and stuff like that. I guess that's the motivation for it, and I think it'd make an interesting content for this YouTube channel. Like it'd be great if it makes money, and if it does, I don't. It wouldn't. It's not something that would make money forever for sure, but like it'd make interesting content, I guess. So I guess that's my thinking behind it. So yeah, just so far this channel is just basically my journals for day trading the micro Nasdaq against a paper account. But my original plan was to for this to be more focused on algorithmic trading strategies. I'm just caught up on like another project right now, and it's harder than it seems like it should be. But the goal, hopefully next week, I could have a U by the end of next week, I could have a UI developed that would allow me to stream this data on the 5 second time frame with just data coming from TradeStation. So like I have my broker right now is like TradeStation, and I have an account with them. And I think you can stream data from them for like $40 a month. I think they'll charge you like $40 a month for like data fees or whatever. But either way, like I'm for doing this through TradingView, I'm spending $80, 80, $90. So that would help me cut some costs. And then yeah, and then once I get that UI up, I could I could do my day trading against that, and then I could focus more on doing out doing some algorithmic strategies. But I think I'm going to, for this manual day trading, I think I'm gonna drop down to doing these for only Tuesday, Thursday. Um, yeah, and then maybe I'll work on this project Tuesday, Thursday afternoons. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And like, there's honestly like, yeah, this video is for like my trading journal, but there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I'm just holding this one position forever because at this point I'm thinking it doesn't make sense why the price keeps going up. I keep expecting it to go down. I just is at this point it just seems like it's a gut feeling for me. Like I have a gut feeling that it's going to go down. And eventually that gets proven right. Like it does drop, but like I did expect it to drop a lot more, a lot sooner. So, but like I don't know. I guess my gut feeling that it doesn't make sense why it keeps going up. I guess that was proven right. But I guess for this day, it seems like the market just it was just more or less just sideways. I mean, yeah, it goes up and it goes down. And right now, I'm expecting it to go down. And it does go down to where I'm able to make $100 on this one order. But for the day, I lose $100. So I don't know. Um, I do think there's a lot of manipulation that feeds into the price action and how the market moves, unfortunately. But yeah, so basically, this is going to go on for a few more minutes. Um, and it's starting to drop a little bit. It's pretty soon, it's going to start dropping a lot more. So, yeah, I guess I don't have a whole lot more to say. I mean, it's going to drop like a rock here pretty soon. And then I'm going to move my stop loss down to where I'm in the green when it gets hit. And that's when I end the session. But yeah, hopefully going forward, this channel will be more focused on developing algorithmic strategies. Whatever I come up for the UI to stream data from TradeStation, I'll put that out in like a public repo. I don't guarantee that it's accurate, just so you know. I mean, it's something that I'm planning on using myself, but I'll push that out to like a public repository, or maybe I'll make that available through like my page, like through like a Patreon account. Maybe putting that in like a Patreon account, maybe that'd be a better idea. I don't know. Because I did spend quite a bit of time developing what I had for it. So yeah, I'll probably put it in the Patreon account. At least that way I'll get like something. The idea being if you just sign up if you just support me on Patreon, like you'll have access to everything I develop. I don't know. Maybe I'll just post a link to the public repo in the YouTube description eventually. Once I look into it more, I'll post it. I'll post the link to the public repo and the YouTube stuff, and then everything else from my private repo, I could have that come from my Patreon. I guess I could be that. I could that could be like extra content from my Patreon account whenever I make that. But that's I guess that's what I'm thinking right now. And yeah, like I promise you, the price is gonna drop here pretty soon. Like I said, it's Today it just seems to be sideways. I keep expecting it to drop a bunch because overnight it shot up like crazy. And like that's what I'm thinking at this point. Like at this point I'm thinking it makes no sense why the price is as high as it is and why it keeps climbing. Like it just seems irrational to me. And this I came to this conclusion after doing like no research. I did not look at any news. I don't know why the price jumped so much overnight. It's just looking at the price action. That's what it seems like to me. And yeah, it does drop a bunch here, but like I don't know. It could just be luck. Like my gut feeling could just be luck. I guess I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna drop a bunch and then it's gonna go up a little bit. I'm gonna tighten my stop loss. Right after I tighten my stop loss, I'm gonna get stopped out and then I'm gonna be done for the day. But then I I checked where the price was at after that, like a couple hours after that, and the price after I got stopped out, the price actually ended up going up a bunch, and then it dropped a bunch again, and then it's more or less sideways, just going up and down. So I guess I don't know. It didn't drop nearly as much as I thought it would, and like right now on the chart, you can see it's dropping a bunch. I was expecting it to do this hours earlier, so I guess that shows you how much I know. But on this one order, I do end up making like $100 on this paper account for this one order. But again, I ended up losing $100 for the day. And in about a second here, I'm gonna get stopped out, and then I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done for the day. Yep. So I got stopped out there, and that's basically where I called it for the day. So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.